The House votes today on whether to reopen the government. Democrats release a Jeffrey Epstein email referencing Trump. And an AI-generated song tops the music charts for the first time. I'm Georgia Howe with Daily Wire Executive Editor John Bickley. It's Wednesday, November 12th, and this is Evening Wire.
The deal to end the shutdown is now in the hands of the House. Voting is underway on the clean CR that would fund the government through January 30th and certain programs, including SNAP, for the entire fiscal year. The vote is expected to pass the House and head straight to the president's desk, meaning we could have only hours remaining in this record-setting government shutdown.
While the shutdown appears poised to end, the fallout remains, especially for air travelers. According to FlightAware.com, 980 flights have been delayed, while 893 were canceled as of midday today. Airlines for America President and CEO Chris Sununu urged lawmakers to reopen the government as the air travel industry prepares for record Thanksgiving travel in just 2 weeks.
The White House is pushing back with force after House Democrats released Jeffrey Epstein emails mentioning the president. In the message, Epstein described Trump as, quote, the dog that hasn't barked, referring to a victim they say spent time with him, later confirmed to be Virginia Giuffre. She has since publicly cleared Trump of any wrongdoing. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt accused Democrats of fabricating a, quote, fake narrative, saying Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago years ago for harassing women.
When Joe Biden was sitting in there, the Democrats never brought this up. This wasn't an issue that they cared about because they actually don't care about the victims in these cases. They care about trying to score political points against President Trump. As we have, of course, seen with this government shutdown, there are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government.
Republicans call the release a smear tactic as pressure grows for Congress to make Epstein's full files public.
Another Kennedy has popped onto the political scene. President John F. Kennedy's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, kicked off his congressional campaign by putting his cousin, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., on blast, accusing him of spreading deadly misinformation. He claims to defend what he calls the real Kennedy legacy. The 32-year-old Democrat is running for retiring Congressman Jerry Nadler's Manhattan seat.
My name is Jack Schlossberg, and I'm running for Congress to represent my home, New York's 12th Congressional District, where I was born and raised, where I took the bus to school every single day, from one side of the district to the other.
Venezuela has announced a massive mobilization of its military in response to the increased U.S. military presence in the Caribbean Sea, including the arrival of America's largest warship. Daily Wire reporter Tim Pierce has the story.
Venezuela's defense minister said Tuesday that Venezuelan military and reserve forces would carry out training exercises through today in response to the imperialist threat from the United States. Pedrino Lopez said that the order to put Venezuela on a war footing came from Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The military buildup in Venezuela comes as the United States' largest warship, the USS Gerald R. Ford, and the rest of its carrier group entered the U.S. Southern Command region. War Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered the aircraft carrier to the Caribbean Sea last month to join U.S. forces policing international waters off Venezuela's shores. The Pentagon says the enhanced force is there to help augment existing capabilities to disrupt narcotics trafficking and degrade and dismantle transnational criminal organizations.
The UK has stopped sharing intelligence with the U.S. on Caribbean drug trafficking. The British blackout began over a month ago over concerns that the drug boat strikes violated international law. Trump administration officials have defended the actions, saying the drug traffickers are, quote, operating under the control of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. The Department of War has launched more than a dozen strikes on drug boats, killing 76 people.
A provocative new bill would slam the door on foreign influence in American elections. Daily Wire reporter Amanda Presa-Giacomo has the latest.
Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, whom we've had on the show, just introduced the bill. Foreign nationals are currently barred from donating to political campaigns directly, but they can contribute to other election activity, like voter registration, ballot collection, and get out the vote efforts. This bill would close those loopholes, as well as funding for state-level ballot measure campaigns. Those include policy debates ranging from abortion to marijuana. At least 9 states have already restricted foreign funding for state-level ballots, but no action has been taken at the federal level.
A landslide in China has destroyed the 2,500-foot-long Hongqi Bridge just months after it opened. The bridge, which links the Tibetan Plateau to China's heartland, was completed earlier this year and spans nearly half a mile across a river gorge. Dramatic video from the scene shows rock and debris cascading down the mountainside, crushing the bridge. Luckily, local police had closed the bridge to traffic on Monday after cracks appeared in the rock face above. No casualties have been reported, but a key piece of Chinese infrastructure has been left in ruin.
Violent riots erupted outside a Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley this week, and now the FBI is looking into it. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the investigation on X and blamed the violence squarely on Antifa. Assistant AG Harmeet Dillon gave an update on Fox News.
There'll be a full federal investigation. We've already sent 2 letters to Berkeley and to the police to preserve their documents so we understand how we came to this horrific situation to make sure it never happens again.
The investigation is being led by the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, which focuses on international and domestic terrorism. 2 people were arrested after a fistfight broke out between one of the agitators and a man wearing a red Turning Point USA t-shirt. 1 person has been charged with battery.
The Department of Homeland Security has captured over 150 illegal alien sex offenders in Florida in a move they call Operation Dirtbag. Secretary Noem appeared on Fox and Friends to discuss the operation.
These individuals were sex offenders, but not just sex offenders. They targeted children. So sexual assault, battery, attempted homicide. These 150 individuals will be gone off of our streets. Our kids will be safer. And this partnership with Governor DeSantis in Florida is a model that we want to replicate across the country. These individuals should have never been in our country to begin with. The fact that they were sexual deviants and perverts, and now we've gotten them off of our streets, it's remarkable, and we need to do more of it.
The success of the operation is being credited in part to the cooperation of governors like Ron DeSantis. Meanwhile, several Democrat governors, like Illinois' J.B. Pritzker, are actively hampering the administration's efforts in cities like Chicago.
California has illegally issued thousands of commercial trucking licenses to foreign-born applicants. That's according to the Department of Transportation. Daily Wire reporter Zach Jewell has more.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said on Wednesday that California admitted to issuing 17,000 non-domiciled CDLs to, quote, dangerous foreign drivers. The secretary said in a statement, quote, after weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong, Gavin Newsom and California have been caught red-handed. Now that we've exposed their lies, 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are being revoked. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Duffy added that the administration will continue to pressure California over the issue until the state proves it has removed, quote, every illegal immigrant from behind the wheel of semi-trucks and school buses. The Transportation Department says all holders of illegal CDLs from California have received notices that their licenses will expire in 60 days.
President Trump has declared victory in Chicago over immigration enforcement and crime mitigation. Daily Wire immigration reporter Jenny Tare has the details.
The president posted on Truth Social Tuesday night, writing, I am proud to announce that Chicago, Illinois, despite all of the radical opposition and obstruction we have from the mayor and the governor, has seen car theft, shootings, robberies, violent crime, and everything else drop dramatically. Since DHS began operations in Chicago, shootings have been down 35%, robberies are down 41%, and rates of carjackings have been cut in half. Despite protests from Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor Pritzker, citizens of Chicago have enjoyed a safer city since the crackdowns on crime began in September.
With the government expected to reopen, a hearing on congressional stock trading could occur as early as next week. Daily Wire reporter Brecca Stoll has more on the story.
According to Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luda, once the government reopens, quote, the bill to ban insider trading is going to be marked up in committee. Currently, Congress can trade stocks that may be affected by the legislation they work to pass. This issue gained mass attention largely due to Chris Josephs and his team at Autopilot. In 2022, his company launched a fund that tracks the stock trades of politicians on both sides of the aisle, including former Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The company's slogan, invest like a politician. I spoke with Josephs this morning to learn more.
We have all the data. We track her filings. She quite literally does outperform hedge funds.
Josephs told me that Pelosi has incredibly timed stock picks in big names like Tesla and Nvidia. He believes Nancy's recent retirement announcement could be the push needed to get this long-awaited legislation out the door.
If we can get this ban through, It literally benefits everybody. There is no net negative for this bill not to go through, except for the politicians. It will bring more trust. It'll bring more transparency. We need that.
Actors Michael Caine and Matthew McConaughey have signed landmark deals allowing use of their voices through AI.
What makes a voice iconic? Is it the tone, the accent, the balance? Well, the answer is quite simply the message.
That may sound like Michael Caine, but it wasn't. It was replicated using AI. The AI studio, 11 Labs, reached an agreement with the two actors to allow their voices to be licensed and used in audiobooks, articles, and voiceover. McConaughey is also an investor in the company.
And the number one country song in America is now Walk My Walk by Breaking Rust.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk.
But there's a catch. Breaking Rust isn't real. He's an AI-generated artist performing an AI-generated song. Despite not being made by a human, the song is now number one on Billboard's country digital song sales chart, a music industry first in the age of artificial intelligence.
Those are your drive home updates this evening. To learn more about these stories, go to dailywire.com. And in case you missed it earlier today, we covered some major stories, including the House racing to end the government shutdown, the FDA removing black box warnings for hormone replacement therapy drugs, and the role of media bias in shaping America's views on the shutdown. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another full edition of Morning Wire.